Okay, we've received requests from some of you to review the dashing. So here's my review of the dashing. It's not, wait.
That dashing.
What is that, director?
Not that dashing. This.
Oh, not this one. Oh, that dashing. Essentially, this car has no ADAS, which begs the question, do you really want one? Okay, without a doubt, the local C-segment SUV market space today is actually very crowded. The good news is you, the consumer, now have nearly infinite choice in this market space. And a key factor to this is the arrival of upstart new Chinese brands like Jetour. In today's video, I'm going to take a quick tour and walk around of this, their first offering called the Dashing, and probably help you decide whether if this is worth considering or not. My name is Tariq Azmi and you're watching Caricarz.com. Okay, for the uninitiated, Jetour is a premium upmarket sub-brand from the massive Chery Group. But in Malaysia, the brand operates independently away from Chery Malaysia as well as Omoda Jetour Malaysia. And that's basically everything you need to know about the company and brand here in Malaysia. Right now, they have two models on offer, and the one I have right here next to me is actually their first offering, which is called the Jetour Dashing. Right off the bat, I can tell you right now, all puns intended, the Jetour Dashing actually has a very dashing stance. But
oh brother, this guy stinks!
Jokes aside, the Jetour's dashing styling could be best described as distinct and very striking indeed. In fact, I've had some onlookers come up to me asking what it is, and they tell me, from far, if you squint hard enough I guess, it does look a bit like a Lamborghini Urus or even a Lotus Electric. Now I guess a lot of that is driven by the fact that this Jetour Dashing has got quite a number of key design touches, like up front, this massive and very prominent grille, the equally distinct all-LED forward lighting featuring a split arrangement where you'll find the LED DRLs up top and the main headlight beams below. Okay, down the side profile, you'll find that this higher-end Prime variant rolls on 19-inch two-tone alloy wheels. But really, what's the most interesting part down the side profile are the flush door handles. And lastly, in the rear quarter, you'll find that the Jetour Dashing has an equally sporty and aggressive rear bumper design featuring a very prominent full rear diffuser element. Most interesting here is also the pair of all-LED taillights and rocks, which features not only a very sharp design, they feature a very interesting graphic insert plus sequential turn signals. Truth be told, with the exterior design, it's very simple for me to explain. You will either love it or hate it. And now we move on to the interior of the Jetour Dashing, and overall I can tell you that it is respectably spacious, it's definitely posh, especially in this higher-end Prime variant, and is certainly tech-laden as well. Now, since I've mentioned that this is the higher-end Prime variants, let me give you a few highlights of the additional kit and features it brings. Highlights include this power-adjustable front seats with driver's side lumbar support adjustment. Check out the massive sunroof, also exclusive to this Prime variant. And there's also a very neat-looking cabin ambient lighting suite. I will also add, this variant brings one very important addition to the infotainment, which is a 360-degree parking camera. Oh, before I forget, this higher-end Prime variant also benefits with a slightly better sounding 6-speaker audio system versus a 4-speaker setup in the lower-end Comfort variant. Differences aside, what both variants of the Dashing cover well are the basics, because it includes things like keyless entry and ignition with remote start function. It also has dual-zone automatic climate control with dedicated rear vents, so that adds the comfort factor on board. And there's also dual digital displays with the infotainment half offering the most important bit, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity. Lastly, speaking of wireless stuff, there's also a wireless charging pad right here in the center console, and it charges at a rate of 50 watts. Oh, here's another very cool feature on board that I forgot to mention to you, and the Jetour Dashing features a center chiller box that keeps your drinks cool and chill. Lastly, with this SUV's cabin, it's arguably quite practical because firstly, you can access the boot with a powered tailgate function, and that gives you access to a standard 486-litre boot space. Don't worry, the second row seats are foldable, which means you can expand it all the way up to 977 litres maximum. In fact, I myself drove this Jetour dashing to Super GT weekend carrying my bicycle, and I managed to put my bicycle here without removing the front wheel. So if that's not big enough for you, I don't know what is. And now we move on to the driving impressions, and predictably, being a Chery Group product, the drive dynamics is respectably good in this Jetour dashing. Now, part of that stems from its powertrain, whereby the dashing harnesses a familiar 1.5 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol mill, which outputs 156 horsepower and 230 Nm of torque. This mill is mated with a slick 6-speed DCT automatic that drives the front wheels, so overall it's not bad. There's enough pep here to move this SUV's claimed 1,553 kg curb weight up and running easily. There are also 2 drive modes to choose from, which is Eco and Sport. I'll be honest, it feels very comfortable and very much at home in Eco mode. It's very smooth, very refined. However, in Sport mode, it is definitely livelier, but it's also noticeably rougher. Okay, on the ride and handling department, despite what the sporty looks might suggest, the Jetour dashing is actually a very soft, supple and very comfortable thing to ride in, and the drive dynamics is also, well, soft, supple and quite comfort focused. A lot of this stems from the soft damper setup and tuning, and also the very, very light electronic power steering setup. It's a little bit muted, but what to do, that's what EPS is like in most SUVs like this. Overall, it's a very comfortable thing to drive and be driven in. What is surprising is the OEM GT tyres equipped in my tester. It delivers respectably good grip levels, and they're quite quiet. Speaking of quiet levels, I want to add that the NVH and which is noise, vibration and harshness levels in this car is surprisingly low. So that's pretty good news. Apart from that, well, let me just be frank, this is not the sharpest, most dynamic thing around, but it is certainly very comfortable, very posh and very easy to master. Oh, by the way, during my driving impressions earlier, you probably noticed that I did not mention anything about driving assistance systems, and there's a good reason to it. Well, there's almost none of which in this car. Okay, let me elaborate. In actuality, the Jetour dashing in either variant does not have any advanced driving assistance system or ADAS features that provides intervention or even semi-autonomous driving abilities. In fact, you only get basics in a sense where there are warning features here, like door opening warning, rear cross traffic alert, lane departure warning, as well as blind spot monitoring. Now, I don't know about you, but that's pretty basic, especially for a car in this price range. In fact, it doesn't even have AEB or autonomous emergency braking, not even forward collision warning. By the way, don't be mistaken into thinking that the absence of ADAS features means that the Jetour dashing is an unsafe car. Far from it. In fact, in this Prime variant at the very least, the basics are covered well because it has, firstly, 6 airbags lining the cabin, followed by the complete suite of anti-lock brakes ABS with traction and stability control suites, plus Hill Hold Assist or HAC, and I will also add that there's even a TPMS or tyre pressure monitoring system present in this variant. Alright, drawbacks aside, there's actually one really big draw with the Jetour dashing, and it lies in its dashingly tempting price tags. Or puns intended. In fact, this Prime variant I'm testing is tagged at just 116,800 ringgit, whereas the lower end Comfort variant slotted below it starts at 109,800 ringgit. For context, this higher end variant of the Jetour dashing is even cheaper and more accessibly priced than the range-topping Proton X70 facelift. Now, let me add that said price includes a 7-year 150,000 km base vehicle warranty with 5 times free service covering labour and parts, and there's even a very substantial 10-year or 1 million km engine warranty offered by Jetour Malaysia. Now, I don't know about you, but the after-sales side of things is pretty convincing, especially given the prices being offered on this car. But the question remains, would you mind having this much style, luxury and tech minus the trick semi-autonomous driving abilities? Hit the comments below with your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe as always.